play this song from One Fine Day. I wrote it for One Fine Day. It was, well, I don't know, do you know how songs get into movies and TV shows? Like, my mom called me once when I had a song in a beer commercial, an Apple Ale commercial. She's like, Lisa, your song, did you know your song is in a commercial? And I was like, yes, I know. There were lawyers and contracts, and there's like a music supervisor who's the person in charge of finding music to put into TV commercials. So like if you see a movie and they're like listening to the radio, the song isn't actually on the radio in the car. Like they put that in later, probably. Or if they're doing the montage with the hats where like everything is great and they're trying on hats, they didn't really put that on the record player. It's just a music supervisor decided this would be a good time for that song. So a music supervisor asked me to write a song for the movie One Fine Day. She wanted a story about two people falling in love by accident, because that's usually how people fall in love. She sent me the video cassette of the scene that they had already shot. It was the 90s, so a video, a VCR. A cassette. They sent me the paper script with Brad's in it, so it wouldn't fall apart. And I read the script, I wrote the song, and in the video cassette, they also they temporarily placed a song so that I would know what kind of song they want. And they put a Sean Colvin song, which was a great song, and it was very strummy and like strong, like Sean Colvin. So I wrote music like this. It was very, like my arm looks Sean Colvin-y when I play it, like really strong, you know? So I wrote the song and they liked it and they loved the lyrics. It was perfect. And then they asked me to add more instruments. So they wanted me to add a piano, so we added a piano, and we tried to make it kind of match the lyrics. So it was like bling, blink, bling, bling, blink, 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 like a kind of hopeful, like I think this is gonna work out, but maybe it's not. I wasn't sure, but maybe it will work out. But maybe it won't, but maybe it will. I was very supportive of the lyrics. So we got the piano in there and they loved it, but they were like, oh, we want more instruments. So, but that's okay, they're the music supervisors, they're trying to make it work. So they asked if we would make it more cinematic and add strings. So we had some string players come over, and what's good about strings is any note works, like at the beginning of the song, so you could just go like, perfect, it was cinematic, it matched the song, and they loved it, but yet they wanted more. And usually around this time, the 90s were known for A&R people, usually A&R men, no offense to anybody, the people who signed you to the record deal, and they would hear you in the studio, and then they would hear your songs, and they're like, you know what this song needs? And it was so typical. They would say they wanted a lift, they wanted a tambourine, because then it would be really popular. So it got to the point actually in the studio where you'd go in with your recordings and you would actually have already recorded a tambourine, because who doesn't love a tambourine? But you would mute the tambourine so that when the A&R person came in and they would say, you know what this song needs? And you'd listen and they'd say, a tambourine. Great idea. And we would unmute the tambourine and Greg Brady would come in. But this music supervisor was more sophisticated. They wanted brushes on a snare. Shh. I'm not shushing you, that's just what it sounds like shh. And it looks like wok cooking, right, Joe? It's kind of like wok cooking in jazz music. Shh. So anyway, we got the drums, they're very suspenseful and sophisticated, and the strings, bling, blink, 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 and they loved it. It was exactly what they were looking for. They loved it so much. And then they decided to go with the Sean Colvin song instead. But I got to write this song called Truthfully, all about falling in love, which I don't usually write happy love songs, so I got to write one of those, and I put it on my album, Firecracker, yes. And we can play it for you. Oh, and you know what? I met the director finally. I never had met the director. I met the director in New York City over squid ink pasta. And he said, Lisa Loeb, you know what song of yours I like? And I was like, I can't believe he knows my music. This is so cool. He said, I love your song, Truthfully. I was like, I wrote that song for you in your movie. And he told me he never heard it. I was like, truthfully?